From Wolf Software Systems Limited, and I'm just going to move myself over here. And I'm working on the IntelligentWolf framework running on MariadDB Galera clusters. And if you're looking to a database solution, we're able to help with that as we are partners with MariadDB. That's cool. Anyway, moving swiftly on. So it's that time of year again. It's VAT and tax time of year. So we have been working quietly away on a simpler solution for accounts. So I recently fired up a well-known accounting system and pulled all our last year's bookkeeping spreadsheets that we downloaded from our Money bank account into it. And it then wanted me to click 865 times to reconcile it. And the interface is just, a lot of accounting systems, and this is true a lot of CRM software as well, is that when you look at it, it's just not straightforward. It's just like you look at it and you think, I can't see where things are supposed to be built. So what we do in this business is, because we're programmers basically, we've built this thing called the IntelligentWolf framework, and the framework allows us to build applications on the framework, and that's what you're looking at here. So you see all these different applications, and one of the latest ones we've been working on, and obviously as it's our year ending with even more expediency, is our accounting platform. Now you can see we've also got a wiki in here. We've got admin, obviously, assets, HR, products, and there's different sections to it. Some of the things are more developed than others. Property management, we're working with a great another company to do for them. We've got our sales system, which allows us to use our active growth engine, which actually you tell it what your company does, and it'll find companies that need your product. Sales pipeline, all that sort of thing. This is demo data, by the way, so don't panic too much. Acme Corporation it might exist, but this is not real. So anyway, back to our accounts. So we've built an accounting dashboard. So what I did was, here we built all the things that we'd like to know right now, and so I'll go back to an older set of this is all junk data, but at least we have got another user or another company on the system, obviously with our data in it, which is much more exciting. So it shows you at a glance these figures. You can look at it straight away and go, and you might go, that's quite a lot, but it'll show you estimated tax, estimated VAT, how much you're making a month, what you're spending a month. I mean, we can only dream of spending. That's a dreamy business, isn't it? They must have nothing. They must be buying nothing. Yeah. Okay. I could only think of a couple of trades that would actually do that. But anyway, so outstanding invoices, overdue invoices, outstanding supplier bills, average invoice value, roughly how much you're making, total revenue, total expenses, profit, outstanding amounts, which is slightly different. So that's the sort of totaling of things. Corporation tax, VAT liability, you've got it all there. You've got an expenses, a monthly expenses. We've got an invoicing system in here. These are all invoices that have been imported, I think. So in fact, no, this is a proper invoice, but you can set up your invoicing. It's really nice. It's a really nice way of doing it. Yeah, these are imported invoices. So, and with AI, we can do things like be able to search for all the invoices. Give me the invoices that are about, £500 each or £1,000 each or whatever. So this is our money import. VAT returns, so it calculates your VAT returns. We have just got our HMRC Make Tax Digital stuff. So we're working on that. And it comes with a whole bunch of reports. We've got a balance sheet, and this is an AI balance sheet. So it looks at your accounts and then it tells you what's wrong with it. And then it gives you a breakdown in a layman's terms of what's wrong and how to fix it. And in this case, it's because it's seen that you've got an opening balance that it's proper double entry bookkeeping. So it'll see if something's not balanced. Okay. And you've got a £19,500 balance. In fact, if I was to show you our accounts, it's all perfectly balanced, which is lovely. And it even deals with that weird VAT rounding thing you get sometimes where things don't quite add up. In fact, in that case, it actually comes up with a button that says, shall I fix it? And you hit fix and it fixes the accounts, which sounds dodgy, but it's not. So yeah, it does things like, you've got a nominal ledger I can look through. It would help if I actually had anything in there. Let's see. No. Oh, yeah. Okay, it's because I'm looking at this year and there's nothing in there. we've got nominal ledgers, we've got yearly accounts. Again, includes reports you need to do. We're going to implement that whole thing so you have a real easy menu. Okay, this is your, and explains what each report is for. It's really simple. There it does, and it's filled it out for me so that I just have to go and fill that out. This year we'll be filling it out. Next year we'll have a button up here that'll go submit, and it'll go, are you sure you want to submit your tax return? And it will send it. Profit and loss statement. Obviously you can just choose the year. And I want it to explain everything so that a normal human being can use it and be compliant with all their required things. But more important than that, to be able to actually really make use of that accounting data. You know, one thing we're all about in our business is making use of data, like the rich document search we've got. I don't think there's any documents in this one. No, there's no documents in it. In fact, I'll just log out and log in as me. Okay, give me a second. I should copy my password. I'll log in as me. Okay, so you can see we've got a lot more facilities on here because we have Slack and Google and all kinds of API integrations in here. I am going a bit off the accounting topic, but I just thought it would be nice to see some of the stuff we've got. We've got football betting AI because we like challenges. So if I go to raw documents, so for instance, every business has a silo of data they don't use. It's just craziness. So here we've got some different sources. We've got an upload folder on the server with some different things in it. We've got a Google Drive. That's one Google Drive. I've got another Google Drive. I've got a OneDrive and S3 storage. And instead of having to search them all individually to try and find things, I can just ask it questions like, what shall I do about our accounts? Okay, so I'm using the data silo is all the documents that we've got that it scans for me. And the beauty of that is that we're not, there you go. Set up zero accounting account. Paul has already set up a zero account. It's not spelt right, but it's trying. Engage a new accountant. Well, actually, we decided to build our own account system. So yeah, current revenue, financial challenges, and aim to reach £50,000. So it's looking at some of our planning documents, some of the meetings we've had, because of course you can with Google Meet, we always record our meetings, so we get a transcript of what was said in the meeting, and that becomes part of our data. Now, going back to our accounting system, we can add intelligence to data by using these vector databases and embeddings. We can add intelligence to data rather than it just sitting on a database or sitting in a Google Cloud. And by the way, we don't actually move any of those documents. We leave all the documents where they are. So if you've got a big OneDrive, it's really common in property companies, chartered surveyors, they've got OneDrives or they've got Google Cloud or they've got a server with 1 million documents on it or 2,500 documents, and someone coming new to the business just has to try and work their way through it. When with our system, you just ask it a question about what you're looking for. So, for instance, I've got to fill out this form. Can you give me some examples? No, and it doesn't need to know the file names or where they are or anything like that. Just go, yeah, here's some examples of that form. And by the way, these ones were successful and these one fails, which is a new thing that we're working on. So the IntelligentWolf platform is about us creating, the IntelligentWolf platform is about us taking this platform and molding it to what your business does, rather than you buying something off the shelf and then spending just as much money as if you just hired us to do this with your own server cluster rather than sharing it with anybody else, and having your own system, which is all yours. And when recently AWS and Microsoft went down, we were absolutely fine because we have our own server clusters. Okay, good. Hope that's helpful. So if you'd like to get in touch and talk about AI for your business, talk about what your systems are. And we were asked yesterday with one of our fantastic clients, he said to me, do you use Zapier? I said, no, we write our own, which we do. We connect things properly on our own because then we don't have to faff around and we do exactly what's needed. Good. Okay. sales@wolf.uk.com if you want to have a chat with us. Be really excited to do a quick Google Meet with you just to see what you're doing and see if we can help. But remember, we can do stuff that normal companies can't do. And we're partners with MariadDB.